It seems like the propaganda is out in full force for this 50th anniversary of the moon landing. Thanks for tuning in to Hard News TV 2. I'm your host, Terry Lynn, and this is the channel where truth is like archaeology, and every day we're digging for it. Today is July 20th, 2019. Now, I want to say up until I was 47 or 48 years old, like 4, 5, 6 years ago, I really believed the moon landing happened. And if I met somebody that believed in a moon landing hoax, I would have thought they were idiots. But the more I started looking into it for myself and putting on my thinking caps and critical thinking for myself, things just did not make sense. Like, how did they refuel to come back to Earth? I mean, their spacecraft was like a joke. And if you see video of what their control panels look like, that wouldn't have even been able to been controlled to go down the street, much less through space into the moon. So then the second thing, there was no filling station at the moon to refuel back up to go back into Earth's orbit. The second thing is, this was 1969. There was no high definition television. There was no cable vision. The satellites weren't there. How did they transmit the footage, the propaganda of landing on the moon and that iconic moment of putting the flag on the moon and the leap, you know, and the whole world saw it. All the United States saw it and they gasped. And this is when there were only like 2 or 3 networks on television. But they were able to broadcast it live back to the United States live. Now that seems a little bit suspect, but if you look into the Stanley Kubrick, explanation of everything, that's more plausible. We're going to get into this, how the moon landing was filmed, and then I saw this other article like in April. If I can get my computer to cooperate with me. Okay. Apollo 11 astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin painted a little, okay, this is another article just popped up on me. I've got too many open. They painted a little British flag on the moon. Hold on. Now the devil is a lie. It took it away. Hold on. Here we go. So we're going to go back to it. I don't want to start all over. So just bear with me. It's pouring down rain. My internet is horribly slow. But there's some stuff I want you to see on this. So supposedly, to satisfy the mother country of England, April 5th, 2019, this article comes out. Apollo 11 astronauts painted a little British flag, planted a little British flag on the moon. So did we ever see that happen? Did we ever see that happen? And it says the engineer wanted to incorporate some Britishness to the mission. Thus, he made sure the astronauts brought something to the moon, which will give the Brits a bit of credit. So they had to give a nod to the British, to the Queen. So I'm going to leave y'all a link to all this. Have we ever heard anything about this in 50 years? But then now all of a sudden, I'm sure it's going to come out in this. NASA's lost moon landing footage and the man who brought it back to life. So now there's unseen film. So I can't imagine. Remember, we've been talking about deep fake videos and how they can alter videos. So now all of a sudden, lost moon landing footage is coming up. So how the moon landing was filmed, which I don't believe. A half-pint camera and a mere whisper of power were teamed to beam clear, strong images across 230,000 miles of space. Now, when we watch the Ed Sullivan Show or Elvis or the Beatles or something, is it crisp and clear and strong? But it came all the way across space, clear and strong. Here's how the remarkable setup worked. Y'all, I'm not an idiot. Landing on the moon was arguably the greatest achievement in human history, but we've never gone back. But filming the feat was a technological wonder, too. In July 1969 issue of Popular Mechanics, released shortly after Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin stepped into the lunar surface, our editors previewed the historic spacewalk soon to come, including just how the heck everyone back on Earth would be able to watch it from their living rooms. As part of our Apollo week, here's the reprinted article explaining the moon to TV setup as remarkable now as it was 50 years ago. Oh my goodness. Moving with caution, the bulky, helmeted astronauts descended the ladder one rung at a time. He reaches the last rung. This sounds like a movie script. About 18 inches above the ground, like they're showing them where to stand and what to do, above ground level, and pauses for a full moment. Then he lowers a heavily booted foot until it touches the moon soil. Oh wait, I thought everything was weightless. But he lowers a heavily booted foot until it touches the moon soil, the first man in history to take that giant step. That scene will be viewed on TV in homes across America and in many other lands if our astronauts follow the Apollo 11 script. And if no gremlins get into the act between the launch of the Kennedy Space Center and the arrivals at the moon, the ability to send back clear, what I found funny was that word script. They throw it in there like to make fun of us. And Stanley Kubrick said it was a script. And then he died. The ability to send back clear TV pictures from space was impressively demonstrated during the Apollo 8 mission. The highlight came Christmas Eve, 1968, when Frank Borman, Jim Lovell, and Bill Anders sent greetings from 30,000 miles to Earth. Viewers were amazed and perhaps a bit puzzled. They may have wondered how it was that local programs beamed with 50,000 watts sometimes didn't even come in well as pictures from the reaches of space. How could a tiny 20-watt transmitter push a good signal so far? I'm not even going to read their bogus explanations. I'm going to leave y'all to go read this and think for yourself. Going to leave y'all a link to all three of these about all of a sudden we're hearing the American astronauts planted a little British flag there. And now this unreleased, undiscovered footage is being released. And we know about deep fake videos that can alter film. But we're supposed to believe all this is true now. I'm going to leave y'all the links. Y'all leave me your comments below and let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.